Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Boxing New.
Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back to another edition of the Q&A with the IBFP. And let's just dig right into it. We start off, with the question from Janet C. And she states, how new media is saying Ryan Garcia is clout chasing Tank Davis. Now, I've heard a lot of things about new media lately saying that Ryan Garcia doesn't want to fight Tank Davis. He's only clout chasing his name, but he won't step in the ring. Tank Davis is this, Tank Davis is that. And so, we're just going to break that down and see if that's obviously the case. Is Ryan Garcia really looking to fight Gervonta Tank Davis, or he's just calling his name for clout? Look, let's start with Leonard the hot dog nose Ellerbe, and let's see what he has to say. And he basically said, hey, look, it's a nice kid, but it's all cap. It's kind of corny now. His trainer told everyone what's up. He is not ready yet. And he was referring to Ryan Garcia and, Eddy Reynoso making statements. So let's dig into what Eddy Reynoso stated about this. Eddy Reynoso says, he wants Ryan Garcia, to take a few fights before, going after Tank Davis. And, at the end of the day, if we look at his exact statement, it was this. And he says, look, it's not because he can't beat them. He can beat anyone. But he would like him to have more experience before heading into a fight, because look at Ryan Garcia. He's 21 years old. And, in his last, 3 fights have only gone 4 rounds. He keeps knocking guys out quickly. So he's not getting a lot of rounds in. He's not getting a lot of work. So if you're a 21-year-old with not a lot of experience under this trainer, and this is one thing that casual fans simply don't understand about boxing. And this is why media is biased, because if they do understand it, they should explain it well. Is that, if you're acclimating to a new trainer like Ryan Garcia is to Eddy Reynoso, for him to fix your flaws, he needs to see them in the fight. He needs to help you make in-ring adjustments. How can you do that if you're blowing your opponents out of the water every time you fight? See, you got to be honest and unbiased. He simply wants the kid to get more experience, because when you get into a bigger fight and you get pulled into deep water, you can go back to those experiences and draw from them, pull from them the lessons you've learned. So it's not unreasonable to want that. But he even states himself that, he can beat any of these guys. He said it himself. And obviously, what was the original plan? Let's go back to Ryan Garcia's original plan before the coronavirus. What smoke did he really want? And, you see Oscar De La Hoya stating that Ryan Garcia versus Jorge Lanata in July in Staples Center. So look, before any of the coronavirus, when Ryan Garcia came off his last win, he was looking to face a huge step up in competition in Jorge Lanata. That would have been his proven fight, and then that fight would have set up the Tank fight at the end of the year. So, you see what was going on. You see what the plan was. And obviously the coronavirus has derailed that plan. So if Ryan Garcia was in the habit of not taking fights, if he was in the habit of, avoiding or ducking fights at this point, then why would he be looking to fight Jorge Lanata? Why would he be looking to fight a very challenging fighter, a guy who's a proven world champion, more proven than Tank Davis at this point? Why would he be setting up that fight for the summer? He wouldn't be. It would be all clout chasing. We just got to be honest and unbiased. The real clout chaser here is obviously Gervonta Tank Davis. And let me explain to you why. Look, Gervonta Tank Davis is the most sheltered and protected boxer in boxing today. Let me just break it down. Gervonta Tank Davis, he called out Josh Taylor at 140 pounds. Never saw that fight happen. You've never even heard hot dog nose Leonard Ellerbe say, hey, we're going to fight this guy in this month. Never happened. Gervonta Tank Davis, calls out Tevin Farmer. Fight never happened. Never happened. These guys were offered over $5 million and didn't respond. Let's just be honest and unbiased. Gervonta Tank Davis, once again, says he want to fight Manny Pacquiao. Fight never happened. See, this is a clout-chasing pattern from Gervonta Tank Davis. This ain't coming from Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia already had the fight set up for July. The coronavirus canceled everybody's plan. Ryan Garcia was actually looking for the smoke to get to the Tank fight. Tank Davis looks like he's just calling names to be calling them. You even see Ryan Garcia even comes out and calls out Vasyl Lomachenko. Obviously, we know that fight has not happened or anywhere near happening. At the end of the day, Gervonta Tank Davis is the only clout chaser in this equation, and Leonard Ellerbe is trying to dismiss Ryan Garcia so they can proceed with different type of cherry pick fights. Let's just be honest and unbiased about it. They all know that Ryan Garcia is a dangerous opponent. Just because the guy has a huge Instagram following, you can't diminish his size, his speed, his skill, his athleticism, his power, and the fact that he's training with the world-class trainer in Eddy Reynoso. Ryan Garcia is an absolute problem for Gervonta Tank Davis and a horrible stylistic matchup. We just got to be honest and unbiased. Now, the next question comes from my brother Black and Brown, and he states, can Errol Spence Jr. campaign at 154 pounds? Now, that's an interesting question, my brother. And look, let's just break it down honestly and objectively. Errol Spence Jr. is currently, a unified world champion. But as of right now, we don't know if Errol Spence Jr. is going to come back the same fighter because he was in a horrific car crash, and thank goodness he's okay. Thank goodness he's, looking to fight again. But unfortunately for Errol Spence Jr., he's always been vastly overrated. And, it's just based off the facts. So let's see if this guy can compete at 154 pounds. The first thing you look at is, has Errol Spence Jr. fought the best fighters in his own weight class at 147? And when you look at Terrence Crawford telling him straight out, hey, take the panties off and sign the contract, you can tell that Errol Spence Jr. has not fought the best in his division. He's clearly, openly, and plainly ducking Terrence Crawford. He even stated that he's taking an easy road to avoid Terrence Crawford, and he struggled with that. So we just got to be honest about who Errol Spence Jr. is. We also see that Errol Spence Jr. has discipline issues. The guy even said out of his own mouth that he has problems, ballooning up in weight after fights and have to spend all of his training camp losing weight instead of working on his skill set. So we just got to be honest and unbiased. He said that. So, he's already shown that he's not the most disciplined fighter in the world. We already know that. We already know that, this is the type of guy that's avoiding the best fighter in his division. And then what else do we know about Errol Spence Jr.? We know that he felt Shawn Porter's power. You've seen Shawn Porter rock him a few times, and even he stated after the fight that he felt Shawn Porter's power stronger than he even thought it was. Now, here's the problem with Errol Spence Jr. Shawn Porter's never been known for his power. He's been known for his aggressive style, his aggressive nature. So that says a lot that, Errol Spence Jr. was ranting and raving about Shawn Porter's power after that fight. Let's just be honest and unbiased. And then we also see that, Danny Garcia has even came out and stated that, Errol Spence Jr. is a great stylistic matchup for him. Porter was hitting him a lot. So, defense has always been one of Errol Spence Jr.'s, weaknesses and flaws. He gets hit a whole lot. Now, you're going to have a lot of people in there saying that, well, look what he did to Mikey Garcia. He proved he could box. He's never displayed those skills where he looked like Floyd Mayweather against Mikey, against Shawn Porter. He's never displayed those skills against Lamont Peterson, against Kell Brook. Every fight that he had against a welterweight, he's looked hittable, beatable, period. He's always been able to get hit. Shawn Porter arguably could have won that fight. Let's just be honest and unbiased. Kell Brook, if he wasn't a broken fighter, he probably could have won that fight. Lamont Peterson was hitting a guy at will, just couldn't move him. Too big, too strong. Look, let's just be honest and unbiased about the situation. At the end of the day, we see that Errol Spence Jr. only has those type of boxing abilities against a much shorter, much smaller opponent like Mikey Garcia, who's moving up in weight. He has not, and has, at this point in his career, has never displayed those skill sets against anyone his own size or even just a pure welterweight, period. So at this point, that fight is an anomaly because this is a guy moving up 2 weight classes. You're talking about Errol Spence Jr. fighting every other fight in his career, and he's never displayed those skills. He has, lackluster head movement. He's easy to hit. He has a predictable offense, and this is being much respect to Errol Spence. And then you also see that the fact that Errol Spence Jr. couldn't even knock out Mikey Garcia when he stated that he would knock out Mikey Garcia. At the end of the day, we just just got to be honest and unbiased about Errol Spence Jr. If you can't knock out Mikey Garcia, what makes you think that he can knock any of these guys out in the higher weight class? You know, I understand that 154 is not the strongest division in boxing, but all of these guys, you know, have something that they're strong at. You know, I can't pick Errol Spence to beat a Jermell Charlo. I can't pick him to beat a Tony Harrison. I can't pick him to beat, you know, a Julian Williams or Jared Hurd. You know, I think that Errol Spence Jr., his only advantage is at welterweight because he has the size over these guys, the height, the reach. What happens when he no longer have a size advantage and these guys are the same size or bigger? Errol Spence Jr. is just going to be an average fighter moving up in weight, and that's just being honest and unbiased. But once again, it's the IBFP.